Welcome back. Today we are canning cranberry sauce. I love purchasing produce when it's in season. Not only are you going to get this incredibly nutrient dense produce, you're also going to save money. And canning your own products actually prevents a lot of chemicals from going into your food. Things that you are purchasing in traditional cans are lined, so the aluminum doesn't touch your food ideally, although there's often times when they're either damaged or old or have an acidic food that you're still having aluminum leach into your food. Not a good thing. Aluminum's linked to a lot of problems health-wise, like Alzheimer's. The linings they use in traditional cans as well, even when they're BPA free, is actually not that much better. There are tons of cousin chemicals that BPA has that are just as hormone disrupting, just as problematic for the body. So canning your own produce, again, saving money, you can control everything that goes into it, and you're gonna prevent a lot of those chemicals.
Hi, I'm Shanelle, a former nurse, mom to 5, and homesteader alongside my husband. Through this channel and my Ready Family Guide, I help families reclaim health, joy, and purpose at home. Here you'll find natural remedies, from scratch living, and simple steps towards a healthier, more intentional life. Families today need to rise up as the gatekeepers of their homes, protecting what comes in and nurturing true wellness. You are not alone. Welcome to our home era.
If you're new to canning, I promise you it is simpler than what you're thinking. I shied away from canning for a long time because I was scared of the process. I thought you could get sick really easily if you're not really careful. And I just thought that's so much work. And truly, it's not that much. I only make cranberry sauce like once every 2 years. In the fall, cranberries go for a couple bucks a bag where I'm at. They might even be cheaper where you're at. And you can make a lot of cranberry sauce and control the sweetness, and you can also control the type of sweetener. I have canned cranberry sauce with honey before. This year I used organic cane sugar because we're consuming such a small amount. I don't mind having the cane sugar in there. And you can also use different types of pectin. You can use traditional pectin with sugar, or you can use what I love is Pomona's pectin, which is great for if you are going to use honey or a different type of non-sugar sweetener like xylitol or erythritol or monk fruit or any of those sorts of things. So let's get started.
After rinsing your cranberries really well, pick any of the bad ones out and put them in a large pot. I used 4 12-ounce bags, about 4 cups of water, and about 8 cups of pure cranberry juice. Put it over low to medium heat and just give it a stir every once in a while. You'll notice the cranberries, as they get warm, they will start to burst open. You may even hear a few of them sizzle and pop. Just be careful that none of the juices burst onto your skin. It can get really hot. I also add a little bit of salt. It's not in the original recipe, which I'll post in the description below, but salt adds sweetness. And as I'm going through it here, I did find one that looked weird, but I noticed it was totally fine. Stay close by and just give it a little stir every once in a while. And in this time, it's a great time to be prepping your jars and then also your pectin. I am using the Pomona's pectin. I'll link that below. I purchased a pack of this years ago. It uses calcium to activate the pectin. 1 bag of that Pomona's pectin has lasted me years and years. I also chose to use pure cane sugar with this recipe. I have also successfully made this exact recipe using honey, and that's what I love about the Pomona's pectin is you don't have to use sugar. So I did 2 full cups of sugar total. I mixed one of the cups in with the pectin, and the other I just added right into with the cranberries. This is the Pomona's pectin that I added into the sugar. And then you also have a calcium water activator, and it all comes with the product. So as you see here, so many of the cranberries have burst and they have sunk to the bottom. It is getting really hot and bubbly. It's so good. Smells amazing. The skins have burst and they're releasing their juices. Now you can choose to strain out the cranberries if you want a gelled kind of cranberry sauce that way, but I love to blend the cranberries into the sauce. I want all the goodness of the cranberries. The seeds have amazing benefits, so you can do this two ways. If you don't mind having a few seeds still, use an immersion blender like this. If you want it to be really perfect without any seeds left, you'll want to put it through a high-speed blender like a Vitamix. This is the calcium water that goes in while it's still boiling. Give that a good stir. And if you notice that the amount in your pot has decreased quite a bit, you can also add some more water or juice. The Pomona's pectin is added into the sugar here, and then that's mixed in while it is hot. All of my jars I put through the dishwasher, and so they're nice and hot. I want to be ladling my hot cranberry sauce into hot jars. And here I'm stealing a bit of water from my canning pot. For the lids, I put all my seals and rings into the hot water so that they can soften. I love using this stainless steel funnel. It is so nice and definitely beats the plastic ones. I did a test to make sure that it is nice and gelled. I just left it at room temperature and it was perfect. So I'm gonna ladle it in and I'm gonna leave a little bit more than a half an inch of headspace. I have found over the years that a little bit extra, maybe like 3/4 to 1 inch from the very brim, works better for me. I've had too many jars burst and that is not fun. So I'm gonna wipe all the edges with a clean, fresh cloth. You can use paper towel like I am, or anything like really clean. Hubby brought me the bottom piece that I prefer. It prevents the jars from bursting. They cannot touch the bottom of the pot directly. So hot jars, hot cranberry sauce going into them. The edges are all clean, and then the seals are going on, and those are, again, hot. They've come out of a hot pot. So this is going into hot water. If you have cold things, they go into cold water with canning. Hot things go into hot water. You only make that mistake once with canning, because that is not fun to have a whole bunch of jars burst with your food in them. So this is just a standard stock pot for canning, and all of my little cranberry sauces are going in. I can fit quite a few in there, which is great. And then I water bath can these for about 22 minutes, I believe. This is where Googling or using like AI, like ChatGPT, to say the size and the product that you are canning, and ask it for your city what altitude you'll want to can them for. So rolling boil for about 20-25 minutes depending on your altitude, and then they all come out, and you want to be able to just put them down on something and leave them. You don't want to disturb them at all. This is where you're going to hear that beautiful pop sound as all of those sealing lids pop down. And when they pop down, you know that it got as hot as it needed to, and you got a perfect seal on your jars. If you have any that don't pop down, you will need to use them up right away. So I just pop them in the fridge and use them up. I like labeling a few of them. I've had my kids mistake cranberry sauce for jam several times, so make sure you label them. Once they're cooled, you can easily tighten the rings just a little bit more, fingertip tight. You don't want them super tight.
There we go, beautiful cranberry sauce. Look at that rich color, and shelf stable for several years. Always make sure you put a label on it if you're also doing other jams and jellies. I have had my kids grab cranberry sauce instead of raspberry jam a couple times, and once a jar is opened, you kind of have to use it. If you want some ideas on cranberry recipes, I've put a couple of our favorite in the description, as well as links to products you can use for canning, different ingredients that you can purchase like the Pomona's pectin, as well as other things.